Howdy, howdy, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of What Are Your Thoughts? What Are Your Thoughts Wednesday. I'm your host, Allie, and super stoked to be talking to you guys today, mostly because I haven't talked to another person in like 48 hours. That's kind of dramatic and a lie. I obviously talked to my boyfriend because he lives here with me, but he's at work today. He left super early and he won't be back till tomorrow. Oh, actually, that's true, but I did talk to one person today. I had to drop off a bread knife and a salad bowl to my next door neighbor. So I walked across the street and gave her a knife and a salad bowl. And it was nice to see another person's face, even if it was just for a couple minutes. So shout out to Rob and Kathy for saying hello and letting me steal a Kit Kat from your countertop. That was delicious and much needed. Anywho, happy Wednesday. It is the final week of November. It's also week 7,000 into the pandemic. And tomorrow is, well, by the time this airs, tomorrow will be Thanksgiving, but it's actually Monday, November 23rd right now. So this is like a weird inception. I never know how to word things when I record ahead of time. So by the time you listen to this, which is the whole point, and I'm done confusing you and myself, by the time you listen to this tomorrow, it will be Thanksgiving. And I know everyone's Thanksgiving is looking pretty different this year. You know, some people are celebrating with their families if they live near them. Some people don't live near their families and they are choosing not to. I made a hard decision earlier in the week. Everyone in my family besides me and my brother lives in Washington State, and we all decided to postpone, and celebrate at another time. So that was tricky for a little bit, but I realized a lot of people are doing that, so I found comfort and peace in knowing that I'm not the only one not being able to be with my family. I know a lot of people are, and especially people who work on holidays, you know, first responders, doctors, nurses, police officers. I used to work at Starbucks and I always worked on Thanksgiving, but people work holidays, flight attendants, pilots. I've spent many holidays in strange cities, in Westins and Sheratons, drinking cheap red wine by myself. So I am not new to being separated from my family, so you can find joy, peace, love, comfort in knowing that you're not alone. And if you do feel sad on Thanksgiving, I'm off. I'll be home. You can call me. We can FaceTime. We can set up a Zoom Thanksgiving, and we can make it fun. We can fake it till we make it, and we can enjoy Thanksgiving this year. So happy Thanksgiving to my Water Your Thoughts little water babies. We're not alone. We're all in this together, and I'm here for you, and I hope this episode brings you perspective, laughter, joy, and something to listen to maybe while you're on the way to work. Or you are celebrating with your family and you need a break. You need to stop making green beans with Aunt Cheryl because she won't stop asking you why you're not married. So maybe you need to say, I have to go for a walk, and you need a second to unplug and listen to this. So I hope whatever you need from this episode, you get. Today is just a solo episode. It's just me talking to you guys. I say that all the time, but I don't know how else to word it. So today's episode is all about little things I've learned, things I've been doing, just kind of a little ramble. I've been watching a lot of, and I know I'm so late to the game and I'm not OG or cool about it. I am a bandwagon Royal Family Crown fan. I'm literally obsessed. I watched all 4 seasons of The Crown in a embarrassingly amount of short time. I just watched the documentary about Princess Diana on Netflix. Now I'm watching House of Windsor. And I also developed a new obsession with Margaret Thatcher. So I also watched The Iron Lady today and intermittently Google and do my own research and look up things because I am entirely fascinated with the royal family. So that is my healthy time passerby escapism right now, and I am not going to be sorry for it. I'm really excited about this newfound passion of mine. I don't want to be like that person that's like, I don't watch that much TV, but I really don't. But since this pandemic is now not 2 weeks and it's 200 years, I am like, heck with it. I'm a TV watcher. So bought a TV this year and no shame in my Netflix binging game. I try to balance it out with being active and stuff. I went on a 45-minute run today. I did one of those Nike guided runs, and it was called a thank you run, and it guided me through thankfulness. And I found it ironic but fitting that I chose to wake up and want to run today, because I haven't been wanting to run this whole year basically. But today I was like, heck with it, we're running. And you guys, it was literally just what I needed. I spent the whole time just from big things to little things, just expressing thankfulness. You know, I was like, I'm thankful for my running shoes. I'm thankful for my socks. I'm thankful that I can run. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for this running path. I'm thankful for my headphones. I'm thankful for this hat. I'm thankful for these biker shorts. I'm thankful for people who have inspired me to run. I'm thankful for everything. So that was my morning. It was super great to start out that way. Took a dark and twisty turn later in the day. I was all jacked up and hyped off my run. I came home, showered, talked with a friend, made a smoothie, watched things about the royal family on Netflix, and then took a sharp turn. I had to go get something out of the garage. Or no, I had to open the garage and put something away in there. And I walked back to the driveway. And mind you, I had been inside at this point for like hours. Like I got up at like 6, went running at like 7. So I had been inside from like 8 to 2. And I have all my curtains drawn, all my shades drawn, like making it feel very like dark and cave-like. And I'm just have the heater on because it's cold in the house, but it's warm outside. And then I have to go open the garage. And we just have like a little shed, and the lock on the shed is like it's not like like those little combination locks that you would put on like a school locker or like at the gym. This is like a heavy duty like master lock. Maybe I'll like throw a picture up on my Instagram for you guys to see, but it has a combination. So I'm like doing the combination, open the garage, close it. And then as I go to shut the lock and close the garage, I had my thumb, I'm right-handed, and I had my right thumb in where the lock clamps down. And so I basically punctured my thumb and locked my thumb in the gate. And I don't know if this is just an intuition thing or a gut thing, but just the other day I was like thinking, I don't want to speak this over my life, but I'm pretty clumsy and prone to accidents. My shins are always bruised up. I'm always hitting my head on the overhead bins at work. But I was like thinking the other day, I was like, man, I have not had an accident in a very long time, it feels like. And I thought maybe 2020 would be the year that I don't have so many accidents and embarrassing things happen to me. And I already have such a low pain tolerance, low pain tolerance, the one that it's like, ow, that hurt, like very dramatic. So I clamp my finger in this lock and like instantly like full body sweats, full body chills, my ears start ringing. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I run inside and I have this huge sweatshirt on, so I take off all my clothes inside, and I'm dripping sweat at this point. Vision is blurred, going back and forth, in and out of consciousness. Ears are painfully ringing. I didn't even know that was a thing until I told my boyfriend later. He's like, "Oh yeah, were your ears ringing?" And I'm like, I guess I had never been in that much pain till today. And guys, earlier this was not a funny story, but I've had some time to process it, and it's fine. We're fine. So I don't know what to do. I feel like my first thought was oh my gosh, of course, as soon as I go outside, I probably got COVID or something. And I'm just this is it. I'm going to die. I'm going to die naked on my couch at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Monday, and no one will know, because no one will know. So I FaceTime my older sister, Taylor, and I'm crying and I'm naked, and she's like, "Why are you naked? Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "I can't breathe." That you're trying to talk a toddler almost when they get hurt, and they're like, "I can't." That was me. And she's like, "Okay, hold on." She's such a mom. She's like, "You want to take some deep breaths?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do." And so we sit there and we take a couple deep breaths, and she walks me through are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling tired? What are your symptoms? And I'm like, I think I was just so overwhelmed and scared. And obviously I'm fine. I'll also throw up a picture of my bruised thumb. And obviously everyone, I think, can come together and relate that smashing your fingers in anything is just awful. And I also feel getting your fingers hurt is just so debilitating when you're trying to do anything. I was trying to just press the home screen on my phone, and it hurts. And I was trying to cook a pot of mac and cheese, it hurts. I was trying to brush my teeth, it hurts. Pulling down my pants hurts. And obviously I am not disabled, I'm aware, but I really felt that episode in The Office when Michael Scott, I don't remember how, maybe I'll have to rewatch it, but he steps, his foot lands somehow on a George Foreman grill, and he goes into the office so dramatic, and he holds some meeting about disabled people, and he's like, "I am disabled." And they're like, "No, you're not, Michael, you just injured yourself." And that's how I felt for most of the day. I can't be bothered. But I am fine. We're fine. Smashed my thumb. What a day. It started out so great. But I guess I can still say I'm thankful for all of my phalanges and that I didn't suffer from nerve damage, hopefully. Anyway, I had great plans to jump rope later. That's kind of been my thing at night to calm down or get some stress out, is just putting on some super loud music in my AirPods and just jumping it out a little bit. But A, it hurts to hold the jump rope with my freaking thumb, and B, my calves and shins are so sore from jump roping the previous nights. And I am almost 28. I am a full grown woman, and I don't think I've ever jump roped till this last month, my whole life. But no one told me how painfully sore and good of a workout it is. I'm thankful and it is awesome, but holy moly, I'm so aware of my shins and calves lately, because jump rope is life. And that's all I have to say about that. Changing gears to things I've been learning lately, which have no particular order or rhyme or reason, but just something to think about, just in light and just staying on theme of this year. It's been a wild one. I saw my friend Sheldon reposted something, and it said, "Don't let your bad day trick you into thinking you have a bad life." And I felt it, me. Sometimes I can get really dramatic and really dark and down, and I like to cope with humor and stuff like that through this podcast, but I was feeling really down. I call it the COVID blues the other day. And I just realized that it's okay to have bad days. And just a reminder that these are bad days and it's not a bad life. And even though this year feels like what feels for a lot of people like a really awful year and a really awful time, just a reminder, it's a season. I know it's really long and you're like, when is this going to end? It's kind of how I feel about Grey's Anatomy right now. We're entering into season 17 and I'm like, you guys are always putting out fire content, but when is it going to end? I don't know who watches Grey's, but I'm not spoiling anything because there's nothing to spoil, but I really hope Meredith finds cure for COVID, solves it, and leaves. And Grey's Anatomy would be over like that. It would end on a really high note for everyone and a really positive note, but it's definitely time for 2020 to be over, reset, and Grey's to have a finish. So that is that. Basically, it's not a bad life. Sometimes it's not even a bad day. It's just bad moments. So just sometimes you need a little shift in perspective, or you need to look at memes to make you laugh. And really, the whole point of 2020 for me has been this ongoing joke of like, what's that one? That tchotchke that people have in their kitchens or their living rooms, and it says live, laugh, love. And I feel like if we just broke it down, all we can do is live our lives, love ourselves and loved ones, and laugh. I am so grateful for Reels and TikToks and memes this year because it would get real dark and twisty real fast without them. So find things that bring you joy, whether that's going for runs, jump roping, watching The Crown, watching Grey's Anatomy, FaceTiming a friend. I highly don't recommend smashing your fingers because that is not a high point. That's not a high of today. That was a low. Go to bed early if you can. I, as a flight attendant, have such a weird work schedule and weird hours, and shout out to all of my flight attendant friends who can relate. Get sleep when you can. I, on my days off, am not even embarrassed. I also take lots of naps. Maybe I'm still growing. Me and Aaron have been going to bed at like 9, like full on in bed, like face washed, teeth brushed, hair combed, oils on, diffusers ready, lamps on low, fully in bed by 9. Like 8:20, we're like both look at each other and we're like, we should start the process, and we are asleep by 9 most days. So if you know me, I mostly have my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I think it was like a meme. I did not make this up. I'm not that funny or relatable, but I saw this meme and it was like, I'm now that friend that if you text me after 9, I'll respond to you at like 6 or 7 the next morning. So shout out to all my friends who know me. Shout out to all of my friends in general. Changing gears to things I'm grateful for and learning the importance of is quality over quantity. Being someone who makes friends everywhere she goes, I realize it's really important to protect your inner circle. Be a friend to all, but only let a couple people in. And I've really understood the importance of boundary setting, and you're still a nice person if you have to say no, because putting yourself first is being a nice person. So thank you to my inner circle. You guys have been great. What else? Oh, here's another thing I'm learning. Sorry this episode is so boom, 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 bop, bop, bop. My attitude has had some serious open heart surgery lately. I, for a while, was like having this streak of having such a poor shit attitude at work. and I vented to Aaron about it. I would complain to my friends, and I noticed like my real ones, it's like you have your friends who you're like complain to and they're like, oh my God, girl, so sorry. Like, rough life, like it sucks. Like you don't deserve that. But then like you have your friends that know you and they're like, could be worse, or no, sorry, that was a really bad example. I hate when people say that. That's very gaslighty and manipulative. I don't even know where that came from. Probably like an unhealed trauma. Whoa. Next episode, maybe we'll talk about that. But what I was going to say is, when you're complaining and icky, having those friends that kind of like call you in and they're like, hold you accountable, like, hey, like, look at the bright side, or, whatever. So changing my attitude has been a game changer. I still struggle with having a poor attitude sometimes, but I realized what I put out there is what I attract. And that's like an energy thing. And I very much believe our energies matter and are important. And when I put out crappy energy, that's what I receive. And so I'm not saying it's a magic trick and it's not like a pass or fail 100% thing, but I definitely notice when I choose to have a good attitude and see the bright side and things, I have better days. So I'm changing my attitude at work. I'm grateful for my inner circle. Another thing that I'm learning is I was listening to Empower Her, that's Keisha Fitzgerald's podcast. She does like little short kind of pep talky episodes. They're really great for when you just need like an attitude adjustment, which clearly is what I needed. She said something today that I was just like, could not stop thinking about, and I would like to share with you, but also listen to her episode because this was just like 10 seconds of it. But she said something like, and this is just kind of like to tie up this episode, going into the holidays, going into the final month of December, we're all tired, we're all stressed, overwhelmed, good things have happened, bad things have happened. It's been a journey, but, especially into the holiday season, going to the store, being at work, your coworkers, your family, just any human in your life, really. She said, choose to look for the way people are showing up and doing the best they can. It's so much easier to look for ways people are dropping the ball. And that seriously hit me so hard in the stomach because I really, when you boil it all down, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, relationships are so much about clear expectations and communication. And it's just so easy to hold grace and space for strangers sometimes. And I just want to remind you guys into the holiday season, when you're going to the store, hold grace and space for people because they're tired too. You're not the only one that's having a crappy time. So that's something that gets brought up a lot in my life within my inner circle and conversations I have is expectations and communication. So definitely that's something you guys want to hear more about. Definitely going to be talking about that in future episodes. And another thing which is great and it's going to help me grow because it's still very raw and uncomfortable for me, but more gear shifting. You guys want to hear more about friendships and friendship breakups, therapy. That's been brought up a lot. I actually have plans to have a therapist on the podcast coming up soon in the next couple weeks. I think it'll be fun to interview a therapist because everyone has different experiences and maybe there's people out there that are embarrassed or nervous to try therapy, and this could be something that would bring them clarity or comfortability. So good things coming up. I know you guys mostly come to the podcast for interviews, and that's really what this podcast is about. It's me interviewing people, but like I said, we're always pivoting and shifting and trying to get creative, going back to that attitude thing. I've just noticed that when things don't go exactly my way, I often forget there's a plan B. So, this year I had this plan A that I was like, I'm going to have this podcast and it's going to be great. I'm going to be able to travel everywhere and interview people in person. And, here we are, almost done with this year. This is episode 21, and I have had to do a lot of solo episodes or a lot of Zoom interviews. And you know what? If that's all I can do right now, then I better be freaking grateful for that. I'm so grateful for this space. I need to work on my attitude and realize that your plan A isn't always going to work. And that's why there's a plan B and a plan C and a plan D and a plan 7 and 8 and XYZ. And so, my plan A has failed. I don't have the luxury or literally can't meet with all the people I want to meet in person. So this is me telling you guys that I'm actively working on my attitude. I'm actively working on my plan B, and I want to bring you guys good interviews, and I want to bring you guys great conversations. So hold tight, let's get through this. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, a great rest of your week. If you've made it this far with me, I hope you guys got a laugh or resonate with something. Tomorrow is a new day. Today can be a great day if you make it. And yeah, I guess that's all I really have. It's 8:45. I gotta go brush my teeth, make my bedtime tea, and I gotta go to bed. Man, I'm tired, but I'm so glad I got to sit down with you guys and chat with you. Just to recap, watch TV if you want to. DM me if you're into the Royals and the Crown. Maybe if you live in Long Beach and you want to safely start a jump rope club, I would be down for that. I'm still kind of embarrassed to jump rope in front of people because I'm not very good at it, but changing my attitude at work. I don't know. I'm not projecting on you guys. If you guys need an attitude adjustment, figure that out for yourself. Take care of yourself. Go to bed early. Take naps. You're not lazy. Tell your inner circle how much you love them and value them. Sorry, Thanksgiving is weird this year. We'll try again next year. And if you guys want to hear more things, or if you have suggestions, people you want on the podcast, let me know. You can find me on Instagram at _wateryourthoughts. And as always, that's where you can let me know what are your thoughts. We'll see you guys next week for another fire episode. Love you guys so much. Holy moly. I know I say it, but probably not enough. I have so much gratitude and gratefulness, thankfulness, full hearts for you guys. You guys make this awesome, and I enjoy truly from the bottom of my heart doing this, showing up. All right, I'm out of here. I'm getting all sentimental. I love you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.